Cars in China are being swallowed by giant sinkholes. They're also exploding. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This episode is sponsored by Surfshark, because you should be protecting your identity whenever you go online by using a VPN like Surfshark. China is opening up, but not in the way we all hoped. Watch closely. In less than a second after a motorcyclist crossed the road, a massive pit opened up, and it swallowed up a car like it was a hot dog eating competition. Luckily, the driver was okay. That was on June 5th in China's Jiangxi province. A similar incident happened 2 days earlier in another Chinese province, Guangdong. On a calm evening, a massive sinkhole there suddenly opened up and swallowed half a bus. And over in Qinghai province, this bus fell into a 30-foot deep sinkhole that again appeared out of nowhere. Then the bus exploded, killing 6 people. In my previous episode about exploding manhole covers, I talked about tofu dreg construction. Basically, a lot of infrastructure in China is made on the cheap, with low-quality materials and poor safety standards. Mostly, this is due to corruption that happens during various phases of construction. Things end up getting built, but they're not built to last. Take, for example, the Hangzhou-Tai Expressway. It's a massive 100-mile expressway that cost about $6 billion to build. Last week, one of the bridges totally collapsed before it was even completed. And the crazy part? Other parts of that expressway have already been opened for traffic. Are those parts safe? I guess we'll find out eventually. Chinese officials are in such a rush to develop and increase GDP that the look of a city becomes more important than the lives of the people living there. And sinkholes are a part of that problem. In December of 2019, a 120-foot deep sinkhole suddenly appeared on a street in Guangzhou. 2 cars and 3 people fell into the hole. After arriving at the scene, the first action was not to save people, but to fill it in. The authorities did not rescue people at all. One mother cried, "They just buried my husband and son there alive." And Chinese authorities don't like taking responsibility when things go wrong, because that would look bad. Here's another video that went viral last week. It shows a sudden explosion happening at the gate of the Fuxin government office in Liaoning province. At around 2:20 p.m. on May 24th, near the east side of People's Square, a 2-wheeled motor vehicle was driving from east to west and suddenly exploded. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation. Yes, it's still under investigation. Meanwhile, officials have already decided what happened. It was a spontaneous explosion, with nothing further to look into. However, some Chinese netizens noticed a discrepancy from the official report. The clip obviously shows the explosion happening in front of a government office, not the People's Square like the report said. Plus, it was a sudden explosion, not a typical motorcycle explosion, because when those batteries explode, they usually start by emitting smoke. A lot of smoke. Whereas this explosion was sudden and clean with no smoke beforehand. And that led to even more controversy over whether this was actually someone setting off a bomb to target government officials. Informed citizens disclosed that the biker was strapped with explosives at the entrance of the Fuxin city government office, waiting for the black car to go out. When it arrived in front of the motorcycle, it detonated homemade explosives and carried out a suicide attack. However, the officials did not announce the results of the investigation. But Mao forbid the real story should come out. People might then start to question why anyone would target the benevolent government. The government that's always there to make sure people are safe. Except when they're not. The problem is, corruption is deeply rooted in China. It's happening at all levels of government and the Communist Party. Perhaps someday, a gaping hole will reveal itself and officials won't know how to get out. But until that day, maybe don't drive in China, or walk in China, or go to China. And this episode is sponsored by Surfshark, because you definitely can't access the real internet in China. But wherever you are in the world, when you go online, you should be using a VPN like Surfshark to protect your identity. And if you're doing, say, an investigation into whether an official report is true, using a VPN can help protect you from surveillance and even arrest. So I recommend you use Surfshark to protect yourself online. Plus, when you use Surfshark's clean web mode, you'll be protected from most trackers, ads, and malware. With one account, you can connect as many devices as you want. Try it out with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And Surfshark has a special discount for China Uncensored fans. Go to surfshark.com/uncensored and use the code UNCENSORED to get our special deal that includes 3 extra months for free. Click the link below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.